Okay, so by now you all know the history and the places to see this nadi and literature where you can go and do more literature, and also you know by this time what is that, how to take the directions, and what are the graha karakas. In detail we have dealt with logics, why this particular graha is having this kind of karaka, and how to take the conjunctions, all those things have been taught. So now what we'll do is let me present my screen. So I hope the screen is visible. If it is not visible, somebody please do let me know. So all this is done. Now we'll go to the nadi foundations. With this only we'll be able to understand the things. So all this is done. Let me quickly go to the case studies. Okay. In nadi, very important is this concept of exchange. Means a planet will give a result before exchange and after exchange also. When this exchange is going to take place, now that is not necessary, but for the sake of convenience you take it like this. In the first half of the life this exchange will work, and in the second half of the life, in the first half of the life the direct connection will work, and in the second half of the life the exchange connection will work. Okay, so like that we can relate. What is this exchange means? For example, a planet is in A's house, okay, and A is in B's house. So they have exchanged each other's house. Okay, that is the concept of exchange. So if you see here in this chart, Sun is in Jupiter's house, okay, and Jupiter is in Sun's house. Okay, so there's some small correction. Yeah, fine. Now what we can say, there is an exchange between Jupiter and the Sun. So in a horoscope, Jupiter is Jiva Karaka and Sun is the Karaka for father. And always remember, whenever there is a combination of a planet between Mars and Rahu, okay, that is a accident yoga, or we call that is not good for health. Okay, if progression and transit also running bad, then that may even cause death of a person. Okay, so majorly whenever it is caught between Mars and Rahu, that particular planet's karaka is going to be stuck. Here it is Jupiter, so the native himself is going to have the problem. If it was moon, then we can say it is mother. If it is Venus, then we can say wife. The person may get separated from wife, or the person might not have marriage at all, or he may have excessive enjoyments. Understand? Because Mars and this Rahu are going to give that kind of things. Because Venus Rahu is, it may cause multiple enjoyments. And if it is Sun is caught between this Mars and Rahu, then we can say the person's father is having such troubles. So you should understand the basic meaning of caught between. Means in between. Okay. So in between this Rahu and Mars. Okay. For example, Mars plus Rahu plus Sun, that time the problem may not be there, because Sun has already escaped from the jaws of Mars and Rahu. So that you have to make that distinction clear. So in this horoscope, it's a real-time horoscope only. Here what happens is, the Jupiter, the native, okay, so he is going from Bangalore towards the Salem. Means he is actually is going to Coimbatore. So somewhere in between the Salem highway, he stops the vehicle. So the native and his father both are traveling. Suddenly the father says, okay, let's have some tea, and after that for some while I will drive you, take some rest because you have done night shift. Like that he says. So both of them agree. Okay. So father is sitting, okay, and the son goes, he drinks a tea, and he comes back to the opposite road. He goes, he drinks a tea and comes back. So while coming back, okay, the tea fellow calls, sir, you have forgot your purse. Without realizing the front and back, this guy turns back and goes. A big lorry comes and hits, he is spot dead. But okay, he is spot dead. So what we can understand from this is very simple thing. Okay, what is that is, this is the case of Jupiter being killing the person. Now let us take another scenario. Okay, if that exchange had taken place, okay, now let us assume if the exchange had taken place, instead of the son being the native himself being getting dead in the accident, father would have died. Understood? Means when the Jupiter is getting exchanged with the sun, what happens? The sun comes to the own house and Jupiter escapes the death. Okay, therefore instead of the native dying, the father is going to die. That kind of real time horoscope also I have seen. Both the cases I have seen, but the age gap, means the difference between two events, is like close to 6-7 years. Okay, so in this 12,000 charts or 13,000 charts what I have seen this 15 years, so many things of real time case studies I have seen. Those things only I have put here and I have given you as rules. So what we have to say, okay, whenever these kinds of horoscopes you get, okay, here we have to say, first 35 years you be very careful whenever you are driving or whenever you are on road. Okay, make sure you don't keep company with bad people. Why? Because for first 35 years definitely that the exchange will not take place. But after 35 years we should tell, make sure your father is not going alone. If he is driving, make sure like some driver you are sending, like that. Why you have to say? Because that exchange will get activated. Okay, so these things is very essential. As an astrologer, we counsel our clients, because it is a duty of the astrologer to safeguard the client maximum as possible. Of course, we cannot change the destiny, but definitely we can indicate them the good and the bad times. And if the horoscope is capable of remediation, definitely we can do. There are a lot of Panchapakshi Vasiyam Endrams and all. If it done properly, it's a different level. Okay, anyhow, okay, so that is out of scope, but yeah, within this is possible. And next we will see the character. If you see here, this Jupiter is the native, right? So generally if you see Jupiter, as per our nadi theory, whatever I taught you in the previous classes, this Jupiter is neither having connection to Venus, but it is having some connection to moon. Why? Because that moon is in 12th house to this Jupiter. Okay, don't take that retro as of now. Just take that Jupiter to be in the Tula Rashi. So this Venus is in 8th house, so there is literally no connection. Okay, there is another theory called dispositor theory. Those things also you don't take into consideration now. As of now, they are not required. As per our theory, there is no connection to Jupiter and Venus, and moon is in 12th house. Now, consider this planet is retro. I already told you, a retro planet will concentrate very much more on which house? 12th house. Okay, and from the 12th house, it will concentrate more on 1579 from that 12th house. Okay, it will not see other houses. Like from this 12th house, 3 houses and 3rd house, that under it will not see. From the 12th house, it will concentrate on 1579. Understood? So, always a retro planet will concentrate more on the 12th house, and from the 12th house, it will concentrate more on the 1579. So, this Jupiter is the native, it is going towards the moon. Okay, and what is this moon? This moon is in the house of Mercury, which is a dual sign. And Jupiter, moon and Mercury, all these are given Tara Brahaspati Yoga. Okay, if Kakshaya is different, it may not make a person to visit a prostitute. But now let us assume the Kakshaya is in a bad Kakshaya. Okay, so now what is happening? This Jupiter, which is meeting the moon, which is having the means this native is visiting frequently the prostitutes. Okay, as they means a particular woman. Okay, after some time she gets only sexual relationship with this guy. Okay, he keeps her visiting and visiting, and one day what happens? She even introduces her daughter to this guy. Later, what happens? He marries her daughter and he has sex with both of them. Again, this is also a real time horoscope of a person whom I know very well from almost 5 to 6 years. He has been my client. Okay, means why I am saying, see, whether it's good or bad, that is purely subjective. We are no one to decide anyone on basis, because dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Okay, it's depending on their behavior. But this is how the things have been working out. How a retro planet is working and causing them to give this kind of relationship. Okay, and in the next chart, if you see, Venus is this is a female chart. Venus is having Mars in 9, so very strong connection, right? So I told a very strong connection. So marriage took place for this female, because from Venus Mars is in trine connection. But now notice one thing, I already told you this retro effects will be more evident in the second half of the life. How to do them a perfection, which age, that I will teach you in some time. Okay, you need not worry. Okay, but this Venus to Mars is a good connection. But in the second phase of the Mars, you see it is going retro. This Mars is running towards whom? A moon who is of a middle age lady. With him he is finding that relationship, and because of that, this Venus bar Mars is becoming 6/8 relationship. Means husband is leaving her and is going with some other lady. Okay, very important. These fundamentals only will be able to make you very strong. Means will be able to make the complex chart simpler and simpler. Next, this is a horoscope. If you see, this I got from very relevant sources, and this is the real birth data. But for some reasons, I have excluded all the placements of the person. Okay, now this person is so famous. In fact, he has his own country of his own. Okay, now you see the Jupiter in the Shira Sagara, that is the Meena Rashi, which is the pilgrimage house. It is getting connected to the Ketu, which is the Kalasa, Karkataka sign, the sign of divinity. So the person was very spiritual and very divine. In fact, he was a very good healer. If anybody used to go to many time to him, he can heal many people sitting in the Tiruvannamalai foothills. In fact, one of the topmost position of one state, they donated acres of land to him, because that much he become highly spiritual sadhana. Now the Jupiter being in a very bad Kakshaya, being retro, is going to the same woman, the moon. Now that moon, who is slightly of medium age, she connects younger girls. Okay, that is Mercury and Venus. Now who was very divine, very spiritual, now becomes somewhat sexually oriented. Okay, and now his empire is building. Why? Because Graha Malika, Jupiter, Moon, Rahu, then Mercury, Venus. So from highly bachelorhood, he becomes somewhat different. Okay, but now you see there is more and more money. Why? Because there is Apara Kubera Yoga, Venus and Mercury in the house of Venus, where Venus is in one house. Okay, excellent Apara Kubera Yoga. Now the person is not like how he was without money before. Now he totally turns into different angle. So in Nadi retrogradations and this these things will play an important role. Kakshaya is an higher level concept beyond this scope of this class. But yeah, definitely this retro things, everything I will teach you. Wife running away with aged person. So Venus, from Venus, this Mars is in 7th house. Okay. Now Saturn is in the back house, Sun is in the other house. So Venus to Mars, there is Samasaptama relationship, good one. Venus in no house, Mars in no house. But after some time at the workplace, why workplace? 6th house of Kalapurusha, Mercury, the service sector, there Saturn, a little aged person, 18 years elder to her. Okay, she is 18 years elder to her, because this horoscope also, after she running away also, she came for matchmaking, whether they can lead happily or not. So she runs away with the boss, means she divorces him and she leads a life with him, and she now is also having 3 years baby. Understood? Huh? From a exalted Venus, she becomes a Nietzsche Venus, the Buddhi, and joins the Saturn. But that gives her the karma getting aligned with the money. Understood? Now, Venus and Jupiter, this is a male chart. Means your male is the Jupiter and Venus is his wife. Though they are having good sour relationship, this Venus after Vakri moves into Cancer, which is house of moon. I already told you Venus is more uncomfortable in Cancer rather than Virgo. Even though in Virgo it is debilitated, it is moving towards this own house. But in Cancer it's house of moon, where moon exerts her influence in Taurus. So this Venus is very uncomfortable there. Let's join at 9 o'clock. Okay. Now take this horoscope. Okay. This is Jupiter. This is Venus. Venus is Nietzsche, Jupiter is there. So we are having 6 birth, interrelationship. Okay. So marriage, late birth, denial, we'll say. Now, if I make this Jupiter retro, okay, now what happens? This Jupiter is going to own house, so becomes direct from here. So from here, there is someone relationship. Then we'll say the second phase of the life, definitely there is a chance of marriage. See, one retro position is changing the entire scope of the horoscope. So now year to year there is a connection. Okay. Now similarly, I'll show one more thing. Now you take, this is like before exchange, okay, male horoscope. So no marriage or denial or delayed, okay. Now let me take a chart for after marriage, after exchange. Okay, after exchange what happens? This Mars will go to Mars house, Jupiter will go to Jupiter house. Now there is a marriage. Okay. This is pretty simple because there I showed only one exchange, one retro, and our retro is what was supposed to be delayed or denial. Okay, it is giving them a marriage. Okay, definitely at least some 33-34 years is having a marriage, not a problem. But now this you will this, so in the initial what you will give the combination as per nadi, you will write like this, right? What are the planets getting connected to Jupiter? You will write Jupiter plus Mars in 12th, but there is no Venus connection. In the second case, for the second phase of the life, what you are going to write? The person is going to have Jupiter plus Mars plus Venus. See, understood? What was only Jupiter Mars? So here it was only Mars connection was only 25%. Correct? Now you see, initially Venus was 0% connection, right? Venus was no connection. Now what happened? Now one of his brother is helping him, okay, to get married. Okay, through his brother. He can be his even uncle's son, cousin. Understand? Or is like that, because this Mars is 90%. And now Venus, which was having 0% connection, is having 7th house, 50%. Very good strength, right? So always try to read the horoscope like this. Before exchange, after exchange, you connect all the planets, you will get a total different view. Any doubt? Fine. Now we'll put slightly complicated chart. Okay. If you see in this chart, both retro and exchange also there. So how you will go about this chart? Will you take retro first or exchange first? Can anyone of you give the answer? Any try also you can do. Okay, no problem. So I will teach you. First, what will happen, right? We have to write the connections for this Jupiter as normal, right? In the first phase of the life. So Jupiter is getting connected to Ketu, and it's also getting connected to Moon. and also Jupiter, Ketu plus Venus plus Mercury. Don't worry about the degrees. Then once it becomes retro, right? Because we already told retro planets will concentrate more on the second house. More on the 12th house. In retro means it will be second house. So we will see. Then once retro, it will become Jupiter plus Moon. Okay. But once it becomes retro, there is also an exchange. Okay. That is Jupiter plus Mercury exchange. Okay. Now what happens? It is Jupiter plus Venus connection. Only Jupiter plus Venus connection. Now I will throw another scenario. Okay, Jupiter and Moon are exchanging, right? Now what happens? Jupiter plus Venus plus Mercury. Okay, and this Jupiter is now undergoing retro. Then Jupiter plus Moon plus Ketu plus Venus and Mercury. Now all are getting connected. So which one you will take? Understood? Which one you will take? See, this is where people fail to give predictions. See, this Jupiter Moon is a kind of exchange and one result. This Jupiter Venus is going to give one result, and Jupiter plus Moon and Ketu Venus plus Mercury is going to give one result. In one case, there is no connection for Venus at all. So can we deny him the marriage? Another case, there is marriage is there, but along with that marriage there is also some kind of separation, because Mercury is coming and Ketu is coming, Moon is coming, because of more association with other females, because of his bad character, the wife is going away from him. In another kind of scenario, he is only dedicated to his wife. So what exchange you will take, or what retro you will put? This is assignment. Okay, this is your assignment. So in the next class, please do let me know, or even before that if you let me know also, it is okay. Only if you let me know, I will know like how much you are able to grasp the concept. Definitely I will give you the secret of this. Okay, it is not found in any books. Even if you go back to R.J. Rao's books also, you will not find. But with over 12,000 practical and with my Nadi Guru's blessing and my Tanjavur Saraswati Mall library in and around, all those things I have tested on n number of charts and I got the results. I will share with you. You need not worry. Okay, that is the reason you are dedicating your time and money also here. Okay, but I want you all to try from your end. Okay, when such situations exist. Now I will go to important concept, that is Nadi's diamond rules. Okay, fine. We have almost another 20 minutes of time left, so let us not waste the time. In horoscope, Rahu aspects Ketu, Ketu aspects Rahu, we know because they are 180 degree. But in Nadi, while taking planetary combinations, if Rahu comes, Ketu will not come. If Ketu comes, Rahu will not come. A retrograde planet will have more connection on 12th house. I explained you that. Do not take more than 3 to 4 planets combinations at a time. Give weightage for 1, 2, 5, 7, 9 relationship. That also we discussed. If a planet is in relationship with Rahu or Ketu, it loses its independency and it's dictated by Rahu Ketu. and loses its karaka most of the times. When I show you the example charts in the case studies, you will understand more. Planets in 2, 4, 6, 8 tend to Rahu Ketu escape. So if you want to give more simpler formula, I will tell from any planet A, Rahu or Ketu will get connected only if they are in 1, 2, 5, 9 to that planet. Otherwise they will never get connected unless and until there is some exchange or retro. Understood? Planets in combustion lose their strength. There is no combustion for Mercury, but however, if Mercury is within the same pada, definitely Mercury will also undergo combustion. If Sun has Mercury, Venus within same Rashi, then only take combination. If it is in adjacent houses, then don't take it. Why? Because see, Mercury is a female planet, Venus is also a female planet. Okay, a person is having Sun, Mercury and Venus, you should not tell your father is having more woman relationship like that and all. Why? Because always Mercury and Venus are always front and back only. Na? Venus will not go more than 2 houses, including that is from Sun, and Mercury will be only in front, back or with the Sun. Okay, but only if they are in the same house, that is Sun, then Mercury, Venus like that in that order, then we can definitely say without ruling out. Planets have direct retro and Stambhana, this you can understand. Planets in Stambhana are highly powerful. Okay, because that time from retro they will try to become direct. That one particular moment they will be in Stambhana. Softwares like Jagannath or also give the Stambhana motions. That planets are considered like exalted. They do highly powerful. In Jamakul Prashna, whenever you are doing Prashna, right, if there is a Stambhana planet, you can definitely say there is some kind of conversion. Means the person has converted from one religion to another religion, or there is a person in his family who is working like an agent who is doing that conversion, or there that person they will act like some god has come on them, they will say some okay you are having this problem like that. This kind of behaviors are observed 100% in my experience. Okay, Chamakol is not one chart, more than 10,000 charts, close to 12,000 charts in Chamakol I have seen, because whenever I give prediction, definitely I will take Jamakal also. Otherwise, only with natal chart, you cannot be always bang on to know the person's Sanchita Prarabdha and how to suggest the suitable remedies, to give him some Panchapakshi yantrams or give him some Yagna lamps. For all those things, we need to see whether the remedy will work. For that, definitely you need the Prashna. Retro planets are highly powerful. We saw how it completely changes the course of life. In dual lordship, a planet if situated in one sign will also have its of influence in other sign. This is what we call it as disposited theory. For example, a planet in Aries will also influence a planet in Scorpio. A planet degree wise ahead will give its karaka to the planet behind. Planets posited in second sign and 12th sign are considered. The planet in second sign indicates the next step in action. The 12th sign indicates the background under which the matter is progressed. A planet in second transfers its gaining or losing, success or failure of matters pertaining to its karaka to the planet in question. Planets posited in sign successfully one after other is called Graha Malika. In Graha Malika, all planets are to be considered for combination to any selected planet. When a planet is retro, we have to cast 2 sets of chart. That is what I showed you sometimes back. An exalted planet indicates the strength of its characteristics. For example, an exalted Venus in a male chart might indicate wife being affluent and dominating the native. Or the native may himself be involved in teaching metaphysical subjects. Why? Because Venus is the karaka for Mrita Sanjivini. A planet debilitated indicates the hardship in the characteristics of the planet. When there is exchange, 2 separate charts needs to be casted, one before exchange and after exchange. So at this point, if you are having any doubt, please do ask me. Otherwise, I'll go ahead. Fine. So if you are not having any doubt, let me go to the next step. Thanks. These are very simpler. I don't think this is something complex. Planets are grouped as Jiva Karakas. This we already saw, right? Jupiter, Karma Karaka, everything. Sometimes destiny modifiers and breakers have some useful karakas which they will extend if supported by them. When Venus is considered as wife, then that affluence character is supported by Jupiter. We know Jupiter is a karaka for big money. Venus is only for daily transactions. If Sun, Mercury, Venus is linked to Jupiter in directional chart, the native gets that by after putting that required effort. But if it is connected to both Jupiter and Saturn, then he will get it easily because it is promised by previous karma. Venus indicates happiness. Saturn's transit over Venus and Mercury gives happiness. No planet in 2 12 5 7 to Venus known doesn't have happiness. Why? Because Venus is the karaka for comfort and happiness. Okay, we already saw in case of moon all those yogas and sun, Sunapa, Anapa and all, right? Same thing. Rahu's association with any planet gives antagonistic to that particular relative. Mars plus Rahu, marital problems in a female chart. And in long life, they always say the distance between this Rahu and Jupiter is always better. Mars connection to Moon gives blood pollution, and because they both get debilitated in each other's houses. Moon is the karaka for blood, and Mars is the karaka for the red color. Mars plus Saturn gives turmoil, especially in a female chart in marital life, because Mars is the karaka for husband, and it will lead in divorce if this Mars is again connected to Rahu and the Saturn is again connected to Ketu. Or Saturn is connected to Rahu and Mars is connected to Ketu. Means the Karaka and the planet simultaneously getting connected to nose, it's not a welcome factor. Accident yoga, I already told you, Mars plus Rahu gives accident yoga, not good in female marital life. Here Rahu becomes more powerful. Fine. So at this particular point, let me stop. A few more rules are there. After that, we'll go one by one how to see marriage, how to see education, how to see health and different kinds of disorders, then how to Gochara. Like I said, another 4 5 classes, we should be done with almost 70 to 80% of Brigunandi Nadi, then other Nadis we will go. I am stopping at this stage. If you are having any doubt, please do ask me.